Back in my early college days, I've stumbled upon a yet-to-be-licensed manga called Highschool of the Dead. It was, well, what the title says. Japanese high school students and one nurse, dog, and child attempting to survive in a George Romero-esque zombie apocalypse setting. Basic concept, and while zombies do exist in anime before, there was no anime/manga answer to Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, etc., etc., etc. But I did find it to be a very entertaining read. Now, almost 2 years later, I discovered that there was going to be an anime adaptation from Studio Madhouse, and it was being licensed by Sentai Filmworks, and going to be dubbed, and all this, I was like, oh, fuck yes! So, I saw the first episode, then I took a break, and I bought the DVD and watched a couple episodes in its English dub, only to take another long break again. But now, I saw all 12 episodes of the show, and finally, here are my thoughts on the anime. Well, let's talk about what the anime is first, shall we? Alright, so Highschool of the Dead is a 12-episode action horror zombie anime that begins with the main protagonist, Takashi Komuro, moping around because a girl he had a crush on in his childhood is currently dating a friend of his friend being Hisashi. Ah, cheer up, bro, it ain't the end of the world. Oh wait, yes it is. It totally is. You're fucked, dude, never mind. Because immediately, Takashi sees first signs of a zombie outbreak occurring at the front gates of his high school, and immediately gets his friend and crush to safety. Now, eventually the outbreak does occur in high school, causing murder, panic, insanity, etc., etc., stuff you find in a basic zombie apocalypse. And because Hisashi got bit, he was eventually zombified and killed by Takashi. So Ray's the name of the crush, by the way, and eventually his classmates Koda, Saiko, Saya, and Nurse Shizuka have to escape the high school, try to survive, not get bitten, and hope to reunite with each of their families to see if they're okay. Okay, that's a pretty simple premise. If a zombie outbreak occurred, I would want to know if my friends and family are okay too. Hell, Sean wanted to know if his mom was okay in Shaun of the Dead. Well, halfway in the series, they're also accompanied by a little girl named Irisu and a dog named Zero. Yeah, a lot of people are saying I got the names wrong, but we'll get to their names when I talk about the English dub. Also, around the halfway mark, we see some of the impact of the zombie apocalypse that had parts on America and even some stuff mentioned around the world, which tie into a catastrophe that occurs somewhere in the final episode. I also want to add that the zombies in the show are blind, so they rely on other senses, which makes some situations, such as making distractions for escapes, pretty possible. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So, even though it was called Highschool of the Dead, they're around the high school for about 2.5 episodes, and thank God, because why the hell would you want to be in a school during a zombie apocalypse, man? Fuck, bite me now. Also, each episode had a pretty campy title with the word dead in it, such as Spring of the Dead, In the Dead of the Night, or my personal favorite, episode 11, Dead Storm Rising. There are even some moments where the show references other zombie-related works of fiction, such as Shaun of the Dead and Resident Evil 2. Unfortunately, the anime only covers roughly 15 chapters of the manga, so I was disappointed to know that enough of the material was just not yet covered, such as the parts where they go to the mall and other character development, including Shizuka's arc and character development. Yes! The nurse had character development in the manga. Fuck. Oh well. I am holding out for a second season. I heard it was confirmed somewhere, but I don't know when it's coming out. So, let's get into the characters, shall we? Alright, so we got the main protagonist, Takashi Komura, who the anime follows around the most. He even provides some narration and internal monologues at the end of certain episodes. In terms of character, I thought Takashi was okay. I don't think he's a terrible character because he does put himself in danger in order to fight off zombies. Oh, and something else I want to mention regarding the zombies. I know in the anime they never refer to the zombies by names. They always call them or those things or whatever. Probably as a nod to Night of the Living Dead because they never dropped the Z word there. But hell, even the characters know a zombie when they see one. Well, anyways, back to Takashi. He did make a big risk going outside in a zombie-infested street at night to save Arisu. So, I'm content with him. I don't hate him, but I don't really like him. There are better characters later on. We'll get to them. But next is Rei Miyamoto, who personally despises one of the antagonists in the anime, Koichi Shido. Reasons behind it don't get revealed till episode 11. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But she mainly uses spears and spear-like weapons against zombies. And she started off hating Takashi because he killed Hisashi when he was a zombie, and she kind of fucking lost her mind and probably wanted to get bitten. But she does develop to, like Takashi, as the series progresses. Then there's Saya Takagi, Takashi's childhood friend, and tsundere. Shit! Well, she is a little bearable, and while she's not physically abusive towards either of the male characters, but man does she talk a lot of shit. I mean, dude, there were roughly 3 or 4 times where she was just yelling at one of the characters, only to be nearly killed by a zombie, if it wasn't for a last minute save by one of the characters. However, she does eventually prove her usefulness later on, such as finding out that zombies were blind by doing a little test on them in the second episode. And she does eventually use firearms on her own to fight off the zombies. Next is Shizuka Marikawa, the nurse at the school. Airhead with breasts that were used for some ridiculous comedic moments. I mean, they're the only ones that have a sound effect to them. She's friends with Rika, a side character who gets revealed later on in the series, and she's a sniper for a special assault team. So, because of this, the nurse is useful for only 2 reasons. One is with the connections with Rika, which results with some serious heavy artillery, plus a Humvee, and the fact that she's the driver for the vehicles. It's like the Humvee. That's all I can say about her. Next up is Kota Hirano, who is named and modeled after the creator of Hellsing. He's a fat, nerdy otaku who knows a lot about guns and has the most experience using them in the team. Hell, even makes a powerful high-pressure nail gun, which was able to penetrate through zombie skulls with ease. Of course, Hirano's my second favorite character in the series because of his badass knowledge and use of firearms. Apparently, his trips to America paid off. He also has a tendency to get aggressive due to him being picked on by not only his classmates, but his very own teacher at one point. So if he's only my second favorite character, who the hell's my first? Saiko Busujima, president of the Kendo Club and awesome as hell Token Samurai character. I love Token Samurai characters when they're done right. She obviously fights with a wooden sword and eventually with katanas against zombies. She is also revealed to be extremely sadistic, as shown in an incident in episode 9, and that's why I like her. And finally, Erso and the dog Zero. I'm not sure why these characters exist, probably to add high stakes that there are children who are also surviving a zombie apocalypse and maybe a little more difficult for them. That's my guess. So that's the team of survivors the anime follows. It's a mixed bag of quality, and like I said, a lot of the material from the manga is yet to be used. That makes the characters even more likable, but overall I do enjoy following this team, and I hope that they all survive and not lose their lives or sanity to the chaos that is the zombie outbreak. God damn, I talk too much about the characters. Who fucking wrote this script for me? Oh wait, I did. Anyways, the animation was done by Studio Madhouse, a well-known animation studio providing anime like Black Lagoon, the Marvel anime adaptations, and Devil Hunter Yoko, another anime I've reviewed previously. Alright, elephant in the room. I'm guessing people want me to discuss the F word. No, not fuck, because I said that a lot. Fan service. Let me say, if memory serves me right, the original manga had fan service, but the anime added even more in, most notably more upskirt shots and a lot of breast jiggles. I was taken aback by this at first. Is the excessive fan service unnecessary? Yes. But did it ruin the anime for me? Fuck no! See, I try not to let this thing of, like, fan service ruin a show for me. And you know what? I actually stopped minding it 1/6 into the show. Whatever. I could just deal with it. I could just deal with it. Deal with it, fine. However, I did see the Matrix moment they had in episode 8, and I was actually in tears of laughter on how well animated yet ridiculous that scene was. But to the rest of the animation, there were some moments of keyframes used here and there, such as when the students began to panic and start running out of their classrooms. On the other hand, when it came to the action scenes of the characters fighting off the undead, and there were a lot of action scenes, whether they're fighting them on the streets, in the schools, or driving them over with buses and Humvees, that's where I thought the animation excels at the highest quality, and I love it. It made everything fast, it made everything action-packed. It's got people killing zombies, much like how a zombie apocalypse anime should be like. And it makes it that much more fun to watch. And yes, because it's a zombie anime, there's also excessive amounts of blood and gore, and people getting bitten and dying. And there were even times where the blood would even splatter on the screen. It was all very, 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 very well animated, and that's one of the major reasons why I enjoyed this anime. The voice work is done by Sentai Filmworks, which uses mostly an ADV-like cast, and to me the dub was par of the whole, nothing better or worse. I mean, some of the dialogue had some gratuitous swearing, especially Takashi saying fuck a lot. They even put in some pop culture references in the dub as well, even an internet meme at one point. But I think my favorite voice out of the dub was Mark Liskowski, who voiced Iwata in Excel Saga, and he comes back voicing Kota Hirano in High School of the Dead dub, which I thought was pretty cool. But other than that, I didn't think the acting was too wooden, when characters scream violently and go psychotic, they emote like they should, and everything else. But I also want to note something else about the dub. For some reason, they changed two of the characters' names. Alice became Arisu, and ZK became Zero. I think the ZK and Zero thing were references to I think it was a reference to a fighter plane or something. But for the name change for Alice and to Arisu, I don't know why that change exists. No commentaries track about that, no extra notes about it. Yeah, the DVD, all they have is the show and a few trailers, unfortunately. If somebody knows the legit reason for the name changes, feel free to enlighten me. Now, as for the music, the background music has a dark tone to it. The opening credits is a pretty catchy rock song, and the closing credits music differs with each episode, all of them sung by Naon Kurosaki. And I thought they were really good songs, but the ones that stick with me are from the first episode, the third episode, and the insert song in episode 7. So, closing thoughts. I really liked High School of the Dead. It was really dark and gritty, but somehow yet fun and action-packed. I do like the characters, the music's awesome, it's bloody and graphic, and the animation's top-notch where it needs to be. I would recommend this anime to zombie buffs who can't get enough of them, whether it's from films, games, novels, etc., who are looking to have some enjoyment seeing, anime get its take on the genre. And I would also recommend it to other anime fans who want a fun action show, but it's not really but it's not very lighthearted in nature. You want something fun, yet pretty damn dark to watch. That's one of your possible options. I believe the anime is available to watch on Netflix, so if you have an account, you can watch it there. Or you could just buy the DVD. I bought the DVD before I got a Netflix account, so that's how I was able to watch it. I'd say it was worth buying it for me, at least. And that's all I got to say about the review. Leave a comment if you wish, and before I sign out, I do promise that Genshiken review. In fact, a particular package just came in. Right. maybe before I do the review, I talk a little bit about this book. A friend of mine, Dead Crash, actually owned this. I wasn't aware that this book existed. Then again, I wasn't aware that they're still continuing Genshiken with a second season manga series. But I thought maybe I should get my hands about it and talk about this as well. It's a lot of brown paper. Yep, this is it. Right here. This is what I needed so I could continue on with my Genshiken discussion. See ya!